Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and the iPhone 11 event is about 4 days away. It's on Tuesday, September 10th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time or 10 a.m. Pacific Time. I got that backwards in the last video. I'm not really sure why. It's always 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So I thought we'd go over some of my predictions for the event. I thought it'd be kind of fun to see what my predictions are versus what they actually are, and see what you have to say about it in the comments below also with your predictions. So the first thing is there will be two different names for the iPhone. We'll have the iPhone XR replacement, and that will be called the iPhone 11. Supposedly they're going to drop the R name and just make that the iPhone 11, and then we'll have the iPhone 11 Pro. Now this is where one of my predictions comes in, so for the iPhone 11, we'll just have the normal standard and telephoto lens along with that camera square, but also we'll have different colors, everything from green to kind of a lilac purple color. And so we'll have those different colors, and it will just be the normal iPhone 11, and it will have very similar specs to what we currently have with the XR, a little bit of a bump as far as speed is concerned. Now, aside from that, we'll have the 11 Pro, and this is where my prediction comes in that's a little bit different. With the 11 Pro, I expect two sizes, just like they do with the iPad Pro, but it will be called the iPhone 11 Pro. Some people are saying there'll be the 11 Pro and 11 Pro Max. I'm thinking just 11 Pro, but hopefully they keep it just 11 Pro with two different sizes like the iPad as opposed to 11 Pro Max. I think these names are getting pretty confusing, and I would love to just see 11 Pro in two different sizes like they do with the MacBook, 13-inch, 15-inch, or the current iPad Pro. So as far as that goes, that's my prediction. Now, what we'll get with the new iPhones, we'll have three lenses. We'll have our normal standard, we'll have telephoto, and then we'll also have a wide angle that will have enhanced AR features, as well as, this is another prediction that I haven't heard anywhere else, and it's just me thinking about it, is why would you make this square and standard across all the different devices? And the thought was that the particular square might be good for accessories to fit onto it. Maybe there's going to be some video enhancements, which we've seen with the iOS 13 code, and I'll talk more about iOS 13 in a moment. But we think we're going to see some enhanced accessories that might clip over the top of this. So that could be pretty interesting. Just a prediction of mine, no real facts or anything to base that off of. It's just thinking, why would you do that? The Face ID should be better, more like the iPad Pro, multi-angle, maybe put it down on a table and be able to use it without picking it up, things like that. We won't see an under-the-screen fingerprint sensor until next year, so expect that for this year. Also, attention-aware FaceTime. So we expect that. We've seen it in iOS 13 code before, and maybe it will keep your face locked into the camera even if you're looking elsewhere on your screen. We don't really know, but we should see that pretty soon. Now, aside from that, I expect the charging port to stay the same as far as Lightning on the bottom, USB-C next year, but I do expect them to change the in-the-box charger, either to the iPad charger, which that's not really what I'm thinking. I'm thinking more along the lines of USB-C to Lightning, with an 18-watt charger like they include with the iPad Pro. So hopefully we'll see that. There's been some rumors about that. I'm predicting we'll see that. No more 5-watt charger, I hope, and that will be a slow move to USB-C. I'm really hoping to see that. Now, the other thing is iOS 13. Everyone wants to know when will it come out. There was actually a document leaked earlier this week that turned out to be fake. So it had dates of when different things were going to release. It seems that those were all fake. That's why I didn't do a video on it. In fact, I had pretty early access to that document, and I just didn't really believe that it was something that seemed 100% legitimate, so I'd rather not release it. So iOS 13 GM, or Golden Master, is always released, or the previous versions were always released after the event. So on Tuesday, September 10th, I would expect iOS 13 GM, or Golden Master, to release an hour to 2 hours after the event takes place. So expect that, and then we'll be able to try out any new features that they show off or anything like that. Now, if you're on iOS 13.1, this is where it's going to get a little bit tricky. We don't really know what Apple's going to do as far as allowing us to go back to 13, or if we'll actually have to use iTunes to do that. If we have to use iTunes, that will be unfortunate, but We won't really know that until the final release comes around. So I'll let you know as soon as I know, and hopefully it's really easy as opposed to having to use iTunes to do that. Now, other things we expect at the Apple event are new Apple Watches, a 5th generation in titanium and ceramic, along with the stainless steel and aluminum. So not just what we have now, but going back to that ceramic and then adding an additional titanium one. I would love to see an iPhone made out of titanium also, maybe with the new MacBook Pros, bringing that back later on. I'll talk about that in just a moment. Now, aside from that, we expect new locators, and similar to Tile, if you've seen the little Tile locators, I've done a video about those in the past. They're really handy. You can put them on a keychain or you can put them in a backpack, and if you lose them, you can locate them. Apple has this huge network of iPhones, and I would expect them to at least announce them at this event. We've seen code about it in the past, and they will use the Find My app in order to find it. So in the Find My app, there's already code or screenshots that have been leaked that actually show a third tab for finding a device. So that means you could put a little tag or NFC-based Bluetooth locator tab, put that maybe in a backpack, on your keychain, in your car, and if you lose those devices or it's stolen or something like that, you'll be able to locate them using the Find My app. So I would expect to see those at least shown off. Now, the other thing too is a new Apple TV with a new A12 processor in it. So we'll see the A12 processor, just a little spec bump, maybe a slight redesign, but I don't think so, a slight spec bump. And along with that Apple TV and iOS 13, we should see Apple TV Plus along with Apple Arcade. We've been waiting for this all along. We know those are coming in the fall or autumn according to Apple, so we'll see those as well. Now, one thing that was interesting that's in the code, I don't know if we should expect to see this as a one more thing, but it would be kind of interesting, is AR glasses. So a different spin on what Google did with Google Glass, but we would see an AR version, maybe closer to a HoloLens with glasses that you would wear. It's been long rumored, it's been found in code before, and it seems to be back in the code, kind of hidden and obscured. So Apple's at least looking at it. Whether or not we would see it, it seems way too early for that, but you never know. Now, finally, I would not expect any new iPads or MacBooks in this event. In fact, I would expect that to be pushed out to October. Every year, Apple does an event in September that's related to the iPhones and Watch, but in October they always do iPad and MacBook. So we'll see a new MacBook in October, most likely, as long as they continue with whatever their plan is, and we'll also see an iPad as well. So we'll see all of these new devices, and we'll see those in the following month, along probably with iOS 13.1. I would expect that to be in October as well. Now, aside from that, if you haven't checked it out, there's something you can check out already that Apple released yesterday, and that is the Apple Music app for the computer. So you can use Apple Music on any computer with any web browser. So you go to beta.apple.music or beta.music.apple.com. I'll link it in the description. You can check it out for yourself and see what you think, but it works pretty well. It has all of your playlists. As long as you subscribe to Apple Music, everything is just there. So it's a really nice version and it really works well. It's fast and everything else. So Apple kind of converted everything to the web for that. So that's it for the iPhone 11 event. Let me know what your predictions are in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Some of my ideas, of course, probably aren't going to happen, but maybe they will. And hopefully the camera is something pretty revolutionary compared to what we've seen in the past. Of course, there'll be spec bumps and more RAM and things like that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you'd like to get your hands on this wallpaper that I have on this iPhone, I'll link that in the description as well. If you'd like to get your hands on that, I'll link it as I always do. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe and hit that notification bell if you'd like to see more of these videos as soon as they're released. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.